You are now rocking with the Sho-Time TV podcast.
Yeah, you already know, Sho-Time TV. It's an epic day today. You know, when I'm excited, I like to take it slow. Got a legend in the building. We got Pimping Ken. And we got James C.B. Gray. You can do your own introductions too. I like to hear y'all.
James C.B. Gray, CEO of the Hip-Hop Fraternity, national spokesperson, and also the New York City HHF chapter.
Yeah, Ken Ivy, literary agent for Ice-T, Boosie, producer for the making the autobiography of the Boosie Project, Ice-T Project, as well as the Rick Ross Project. Also the founder of the Hip-Hop Fraternity and chairman of the Hip-Hop Fraternity, and a whole host of other things, a businessman extraordinaire.
Yeah, he just destroyed my whole life in that 2 seconds. And I'm very humbled by this experience. And I want to say I thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to interview you. You got a lot going on. And yesterday was the Hip Hop Fraternity. They had an event for the community in Harlem at the legendary Harlem Nights. That event was amazing. How long did it take to put that together?
Well, me and Ken Tria really spearheaded that whole situation. Mm-hmm. For us it was a regular event, but for a lot of people are like, oh my God, what a joy, Yeah. Me and Ken Tria both have a network of people, that we've been dealing with for years. We have a network of artists, network of industry executives. So whenever we have events, we like to bring everybody out. And now, in the last 2 or 3 events we've had, people are really starting to realize, like, wow, this is HHF thing is serious.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? So now when the word come out, remember, it's like kind of like the bat symbol.
Yeah.
Well, it's HHF up there right now. And when people see it, they're like, okay, we got to go. We got to be there.
And it's kind of different from the last event y'all had in Harlem at the Shark Bar, right?
Yeah.
Like the energy was different. It was a different tone.
Yeah.
It was a different tone. This was a different. I wasn't expecting that. The first tone it's really nice. It was a get together, nice music. It was networking, good energy. This one, you had the hip hop artists in there. You had music producers, magazines, companies, and gave awards out.
Yep, politicians.
And it was really nice. You was really inviting. Everybody got to come up to talk to you. One thing about you, your energy is so humble. Like, you just so humble and down to earth. Like really, really accessible, and I don't know what made you like
A lot of years in prison.
Okay.
The white folks will humble your ass. go to jail. That'll humble you real quick. And you realize, man, that your freedom could be snatched at any time. And you come home, you learn to appreciate trees, and you appreciate food that you normally. I don't really like McDonald's, but I love just riding past it.
I never heard that like that.
Being in jail, you learn to respect the other person's space. You only got so much space in jail. The person might be right here, you right there, and y'all in the same room all the time. Sometimes they make you take showers with 10 or 15 other men. You know what I'm saying? It's just really bad in jail. So when you come home, you learn to appreciate small things, and you become more humble. You're more respectful of people because jail teaches you to be respectful. So I really got my humbleness as a very young man when I was in prison. I would say around about 20, I was in a situation where these brothers, they call themselves the Moors Science Temple. And they was running the tier, the block. And so I came on the block, and I just got to doing a little state time, so I was a little hot head. I was ready to rumble, in the jungle, because that's how you do it in the joint. You whoop a couple of dudes and establish yourself. I was ready to whoop a couple of dudes. I was looking for the fight.
He said it.
I was looking for a fight, and one of the OGs, may rest in peace, Penitentiary Sam. They call him Penitentiary Sam because he did like 40 years in prison. He's like, man, listen, those the moles, and that phone you about to fight over, all these brothers is together. I said, so they ain't gonna give me a fair one? They said, no, they don't do that in the feds. And so that humbled me real quick because I was so used to the state joint getting a fair one, one-on-one. And so I had to learn quickly that, in the feds, they got what you have cars. Like you got the Milwaukee car, the New York car, the Detroit car. And in those cars, that's where you from. So you had to link up with somebody. I wasn't used to that. I was used to being solo dolo, I go to jail, I ran my own little situation, and that humbled me real quick. And I just started respecting people because I almost got my life taken in that situation because there was so many of them. No matter what I would have did, I probably would have whooped a couple of them, but I would have ended up dead. They had shanks and everything. And I just started being the thinker from that because I was used to the state prison, but I wasn't familiar with the feds. So now I'm in the feds. I had to learn how to be a mastermind. So I learned how to think and how to deal with the Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, the Aryan Brotherhood, the Muslims, the Nation of Islam, the Moorish Temple. And, they just taught me how to be. If you ain't humble, you'll crumble. Your ego could be your worst amigo. Sometimes you got to, let people think they're winning when you really winning.
I needed to hear that. That was for me today. Because sometimes I get caught up with it's the principle. But then at the same time, it's like, does it make sense for me to, if I know I think on a certain level and I know that they can't even comprehend a lot of they lack logic or just whatever it is they're lacking, it's like, you really want to argue with somebody who never been past a barrel or and even if they did, it's just a certain mentality. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like you played yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote a book called The Art of Human Chess. It's a very good book. I highly recommend it. I talk about maneuvering strategies and, how to avoid deception, how to maneuver and manipulate yourself in a good way and a bad way.
Wait, where's this book at?
It's on Amazon, or you can get it at audiobook.com, and they can go listen to it right now. I'm going to order
that book today.
Yeah.
Like literally chess, not checkers. But go ahead.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing is, like when your enemy think that they are opposing or they think that they have the advantage, sometimes when you have the advantage, you got to make them think that you don't have the advantage. If your enemy is doing something flawed or doing something crazy, never interrupt your enemy when your enemy making a mistake. And
we do that a lot. We tend to do that a lot.
Yeah, because some people be on a self-destruction kick and they be acting around, want to fight everybody, and you actually give them the fight. But you could just sit back and let somebody else peel their head,
Yeah, because that a lot of times, a lot of people want to fight. They want to fight, and I'm like, why?
Because they have abandonment issues. Most of us grow up, if we have brothers and sisters, once you are born, you the child, you the baby until 1 year old. And then if your mom have another baby, then she abandoned you. And she go to the next child get the gaga goo the bottles and the diaper change, and we feel abandoned. And a lot of times, it could be at age 8, 9, 10. And so when we get in relationships, in reality, real life relationships, even with women, we be cautious, what I'm saying, because we don't want to get abandoned again. And it's psychological, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even really know that this is transpiring, but you really having abandonment issues and you don't want to be abandoned. And, so we got these defense mechanisms and these different, things that we put up, to mask who we really are, what's really going with us and make us look tough. And we want attention. That's the main thing, So a lot of times, we act on impulse. We give those people the intention that they want that's being provocative. But at the same time, we want attention too. But, we don't know how to be like, oh, okay, hold on, this dude here, he making a play. He just trying to get some attention. He got abandonment issues. I'm not fit to allow my abandonment issues to
you
equate to his.
remind me of like a social worker, therapist. Once you recognize these people have these particular, whether they diagnose with it, but they display these behaviors, it's like, okay, I know what this is, and I know better than that. So I see that this person is triggered by this. So once you got that understanding, then you know how to move and you know how to play your position. And if you don't play your position, then shame on you because you know what you're dealing with.
Absolutely.
Makes a lot of sense. Because with this entertainment thing, sometimes I got to check myself. Sometimes you can't forget who you are. Who you are, what you accomplish, and what your mission is. Because other people are messy or other people just have a certain mentality. But sometimes I it takes a while, but sometimes I'm human. Sometimes I'm like, damn, it's just the principle of you just even doing this thing.
You just got to do the backwards reflection strategy, right? So what that means is every month go back and look at your accomplishments. So I could say, oh, you did you did something with 50 Cent. You did a PIMP video. You did a mixtape with 50 Cent. You worked with Little John. You worked with CB Gray. You work with some of these great people. Then once you give yourself a reflection, you realize who you are. Then it's better to navigate situations and understand, like say for instance, if you jumped up right now and say this box, in my mind, I ain't gonna say this dude trying to fight me. I'm gonna say the devil is in this dude because he had no earthly reason to be tripping on me. So you know what I'm saying? When you at the grocery store and somebody tripping, don't trip with them. You know what I'm saying? Just realize that this situation don't align with the circumstances. You just got to walk away from it. And you never argue with a fool, because if I'm arguing with him and we both fools from a distance, you don't know who the fool, him or me, right? Because we both argue. So arguing with a fool makes you a fool as well, and you can never win an argument.
And you know what's so crazy about arguments? You can go back and forth with a person you care about because you've been there, done that, or you have the facts, and it's just common sense, maybe, but since it's not common, but at the same time, you know better. But sometimes I struggle with it, but sometimes you just really got to step back and let people get like cuts and bruises, because you can't save everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes you tell your son, your daughter, your wife, whoever, but when it comes from you, some things, maybe most things they'll listen to, but certain things it's like
they ain't trying to hear.
It got to come from somewhere else, or you got to get chewed on your ass. And I'm guilty of it too. I remember I have a elder. A friend, she's my elder. Her name was Vera Edwards. She gave me advice, and she go, "You done getting your ass chewed?" And I'm like, at this point, yeah, I'm done. Now I'm ready to listen, but my ass is halfway chewed off. Yeah.
They said a hard head make a soft ass. That's what my mama told me.
Yeah. Those are them good foundations. And speaking of the work, like the Hip-Hop Fraternity, I was, working with the Bronx, right? CB? Yeah. And then I begged to go to Harlem.
Oh yeah. So he was working with Phil.
Mike.
So yeah, he was working with Phil. And shout out to Phil. He wasn't able to come last night. I wasn't feeling good, but Phil put in a lot of work. As one of the original members of the Zulu Nation, and for years working with Warner Brothers and Def Jam and all that. So and that's how I've been rocking with Phil for years too. But me and Sho-Time, we've been working together for years. Yeah. So he's like, yo, I want to rock with you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, listen, that's nothing, man. Whatever it takes, wherever you feel more productive, that's what we're gonna put.
You know what? Phil is just unorthodox around. He does so much, and then even if he's doing something, he's not going to tell you he's too busy sometime. He's still going to try to do that too. Yeah. Or he just got his little secret mission, whatever he got, and then.
Yeah, he's unorthodox, but he got a good strategy.
Lately he's been really lately he's been really strategic, and I've been seeing the motion that he.
Oh yeah, with the Dow twins.
Yeah, I've been seeing what he's doing a great job with them.
Yeah.
But I say this to say this, I wanted to get more. I wanted to show the relationship and the union from Sho-Time TV and Sho-Time Battle Rap League with the Hip-Hop Fraternity. So I got an event coming up. It's called Sho-Time TV presents Sho-Time Battle Rap League's Mortal Kombat. You know, when I say Mortal Kombat, it's a metaphor of that game is brutal. So that event it's hip hop. You gotta out rap yourself. You can't. It ain't boxing. These words gotta do the boxing for you.
Spectacular vernacular.
Exactly. And there ain't no friends in battle rap. I don't care about your cousin. I don't care about you gotta have thick skin. And these are battle rap professionals. So I want to bring the hip hop fraternity in that environment. You know.
Oh, most definitely.
And so we're gonna have a strong hip hop fraternity presence. We're gonna have CB speak, talk about the chapter, talk about the new chapters coming, and talk about what it is and how to educate them on how to maneuver in the entertainment, music business, and just shows and just bring the hip hop fraternity into the battle rap culture.
Well,
you know,
that's beautiful, man. I appreciate that, man. And I tell people all the time, man, you can't do nothing in life without strategy. You know, you have to be strategic. You know, that's why my book is so important. I kind of emphasize that emphatically. That, man, you know, everything that I've done, including the hip hop fraternity, has been strategic. You know, we don't never do anything. You know, one of the great things about chess is you plan your moves 10 steps ahead. You know, everything you see, it seems like we just doing it, but we plan forward and we work backwards. So what that means is we plan for the future. You plan for the future, and behind the future is the present. So we working. You know, we plan for the future, but we work in the present. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So we plan forward, we work backwards, and so that means that you got to see it 10 steps ahead. We see the ending before the beginning, and that's how you succeed in life. You know, I mean, you got to be able to understand that this, that, and the other are going to create this, that, and the other. You know, so the hip hop fraternity event last night, you know, was well planned.
That was very nice.
We talked about this 4 or 5 years ago, the strategy and the implementations that's going to take to put it in motion, and working with the politicians and working with various individuals that were present, you know, and this came to fruition because we foreseed it. You know, you got two things in life. You got insight, and you got foresight. Foresight is 20/20. That means that you can see it before you be it. Now, insight is people, you know, that was there. There was the cameramen, the helpers, the people that was just present. You know, they got insight. They got enough insight to know that there's some foresight going on. But James and I, we got foresight, so we could see it before it even happened. We know it's already going to manifest itself.
As far as you and him together, like that is crazy. There's a problem. They got a problem out here, okay? Like the way your mind work and the way y'all think, crazy. Like, so I already see it coming together. That's why I was just trying to, every time I hit him up, he's like, yeah. Cause you know, y'all got the vision is in motion. I'm like saying, okay, how could I, instead of people come in situations they want to take from, but have nothing to offer the situation, I'm trying to say like, hey, where am I useful at? You know, where am I useful at where I can display whatever I need to display or whatever I need to do.
Your skill set is your asset.
Yeah. You so it's like so I'm trying to figure out, okay, where am I needed? Or what is the specific thing would you like me to start at? And then we start building, and then that's why I said
Mortal Kombat, that's it.
Yeah. He said, I like that. He said Mortal Kombat, that's it. Yeah, so yeah, like showing the union and the branding of it and staying connected, and for me, like I'm learning more about the politics through what y'all got going on, because that the event was really good because it's like you had the politicians there, the rappers, filmmakers, magazine companies, and then giving awards. Even the people that I've saw work for years and nobody's ever given them the chance or the light. They just take advantage. It's like take advantage of a kind heart. never give back to them, never pour into them or anything. To give those people the awards and to see their faces smile and see that was a nice thing for me to see somebody work so hard and actually finally get the recognition and get it to this magnitude was crazy. I felt like I got an award.
Yeah,
that's how nice it was.
It's funny, Robert Jackson, that brother.
Yeah.
Nobody, people look at him like, he ain't. But when he'll make some phone calls, he'll sometimes he won't even come to the event, but 10 people will be there that he sent there.
Yep.
And that's big when you're trying to really put together something grassroots or connect dots on the industry level. And I always, show him love. And when we started the New York chapter, he's like, yo, man, I got to be down. I said, yo, don't worry, I got you. And he immediately started making calls, immediately started connecting dots. He's the one that brought Lost Boys to us. Mm-hmm. So now Lost Boys officially HHF members now because of Robert Jackson.
Yeah, and he shares information.
Yeah,
it's man. Like he shares, like he see a casting call. He's like, Kareem, look, man. Sometimes he only call me Sho-Time. Like, Kareem, look, they got a movie. They got a movie. Mm-hmm. I got a call from him when we was doing that Big L situation.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, audition for this. It was him, and he was pressing me to do it, and I did it. Certain things he'll send me certain things, but that was good to see. You got a good one on your team.
Yeah. And a lot of people, try to downplay him, and he's a good dude, and I always recognize him and shout him out and try to bring him in because he has resources that are valid too. Mm-hmm. And he's I
don't mean to cut you off, Jay. That's the good thing about the Hip-Hop Fraternity. We do believe in reaching out to those brothers and sisters who are in the diaspora and who are in the media circles that want to, expand with us because we don't have no respect of persons. Everybody is equal in the Hip-Hop Fraternity. We all bosses. We all, thinkers. That's why we call it a think tank. Anybody can lend their thoughts at any given time to help move forward the culture in the organization.
What you said? Okay, yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry, man.
You can repeat that again.
I'm just saying, what I said. I can't remember. Hey, man.
A lot.
Hey, man, I got diarrhea in the mouth, man. I be saying all kind of shit. But yeah, man, we appreciate brothers like Robert Jackson and brothers like Congressman Taylor and Yusef, and Kendria and Castle Asbury, Sho-Time. All y'all are part of the microcosms that it takes to build the hip-hop fraternity because it's not monolithic. It's all type of talents and skill sets. And James being a seasoned politician and a businessman, me being from the streets and, eventually getting into executive suites, it all aligns with it, and anybody, man, we using anybody positively that wants to be a part of the hip-hop fraternity. We don't have no restrictions or nothing like that. Anybody can join, black, white, spotted, dotted, as long as they got it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't tripping, So, we got we can have white people in the organization, but white people cannot be at the helm. Mm-hmm. We know most organizations where black people allow white people to take over. It usually damage. Malcolm X said something that was very profound to me. He said, coffee don't get weak until you put cream in it. When coffee's black, it's strong. So, we want to keep HHF strong.
He got metaphors.
No, this is Malcolm X said. It's not my saying.
I don't want you to know around no girls that I like.
Malcolm said that. So we're not going to have never a white person at the helm of the hip-hop fraternity, but all white people are welcome to join. We love y'all. Y'all welcome to lend y'all skill sets, because your skill sets, your assets. But, this is for us, by us, FUBU. We believe in this wholeheartedly. We understand what happened, when you go back into the mafia contracts of the 40s and the 50s, we know that African Americans publishing was robbed from them. Their rights, their IP, all this stuff was robbed from them. And a lot of them was murdered. A lot of them was killed because they didn't fall in line with the contract, or they didn't do what let's say the mafia. So, Michael Jackson kind of changed that for us when he was able to purchase the Beatles catalog, and he started his company. I think it's ATC or whatever it is. We can't remember verbatimly, but that company was the catalyst for us to understand the music business. And Michael Jackson gave a lot of those people their publishing back. And eventually he was so powerful that Sony ended up giving him half of their company. So he owned half of Sony. He owned practically half of the music industry. And, it was so powerful that it is believed that Michael Jackson is the only artist that you can really say that the Illuminati or the powers that be conspired against to kill him. He was the only artist that you could really say that they really killed. Everybody else can be speculative. It can be speculated. Yeah. Prince. No, Michael Jackson was way Prince didn't own his master. He wrote slave on his head. He was a slave. He even admitted it. But Michael owned a lot of publishing. And I don't know if you understand publishing, they got what you got called copyright control. So copyright control, you have a lot of publishing that's unclaimed. So
I noticed that too. When I talk to artists, it's like they'll sign up for ASCAP BMI, and the writer's credits you probably get, but I'm like, well, what happens to the publishing? And then sometimes they don't even claim the publishing. It goes unclaimed, and then who gets that money?
Well, the money, the record labels can't take the money. It goes to what you call a black box or copyright control. So what happens is I went and I had my lawyer. I had a lawyer out of Atlanta. He wasn't my lawyer, but I paid him, and he did what you call due diligence. So he did a forensic accounting, and they found a lot of publishing that I had that was just sitting dormant. Give you an example. One of the guys that played for the Beatles, he was a drummer. He died. He had $3 million in copyright control. The lawyers was watching America Most Wanted, and they seen an identical name. His name was kind of rare, and they knew that was his child. So they contacted the young man and said, look, your father held $3 million in copyright control, and they was able to extrapolate that $3 million and give the son the money, and they took a third. They took $1 million, gave him $2 million. That's how powerful publishing is. He was just a drummer for the Beatles, and over the years, that publishing accumulated this money. So what happens when there's money in copyright control? Well, Michael Jackson owned a lot of that publishing. So a lot of people don't know the problem was not that he owned the publishing. The problem was he was getting interest off of that copyright control money. So you talk about a $2 billion in copyright control, unclaimed publishing. Imagine what 10% interest on that is. That's why Michael Jackson was staying at $100,000 a month house, renting in California, because he had all this money, And so now, me being a personal, me personally being connected by, being affected by that, I had to go retrieve some money from my copyright control. It's a lot of artists don't understand that, And how did that happen? You, James, and myself, we in the studio. You come up with a song. You registered with BMI or ASCAP or CSAC. It goes overseas. One of those DJs overseas from the Philippines like it and turn it into one of those house music songs, and it go crazy, and it gains a lot of money. So you got international publishing, and then they report the money. But they can't find you because neither one of us did what you call a split sheet.
Yep. And a lot of artists don't got split sheets. I'm like, wait, what? And it's funny because you said ASCAP BMI. A lot of people don't know about CSAC neither.
Yeah. But that's what the Hip-Hop Fraternity is all about. That's what James and I specialize in, making sure that these artists get their rights and make sure that they understand what an escalation clause is, a de-escalation clause. Understanding, how to negotiate deals. Always negotiate 10 times higher than what your actual ask is. Even if you get 50%, you still 10%, 40% over your initial ask. These just basic things that brothers need to understand in the music industry. Understand that 89 years after you're dead, your publisher is still relevant. So this is a way to create generational wealth. Never take advances on your publishing. Because if you can't pay it, the interest is going to eat up, and then it's going to revert back to the record label. Then the record label is going to own your publishing. And then, now I don't know if people have been noticing, but Lil Wayne and all these artists are selling their publishings for hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars because a lot of these companies, especially these AI companies and these NBA 2Ks, they're putting music in games now. So these children is buying these games. So if you own the rights to these games and the rights to this music, that means that's publishing that you're not going to be able to retrieve as an artist because you sold your IP to, say, one of these companies that's buying all this publishing. And these just basic things that you got to understand. Understand the value of IP, intellectual property, the value of publishing in general. Give you an example just for all of your listeners. I'm gonna show you how important publishing is. It was a song. It was a movie called The Bodyguard. You remember that?
Yeah.
So
Whitney Houston, right?
Whitney Houston played the person. She sung a song called "I Would Always Love You." Mm-hmm. That song did crazy number. Everybody put it on YouTube for their wedding. Everybody, "I Would Always Love You." It's a good thing, if you love somebody. But here's the irony of that, right? You know who got the money, right?
No.
Dolly Parton. That's her song.
Yeah.
Oh.
"I Would Always Love You." So Dolly Parton got all of the publishing, and every time we go on YouTube, and they say you can use this song, but somebody is gonna go to the rightful owner.
Yeah.
And so Dolly Parton. So when you see her got this big old Disneyland place in Nashville, Tennessee, you see how big it is. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and they say she's worth billions of dollars because she's living off her publishing alone. Sir Mix-a-Lot, another case in hand, right? He did a song, "I Like Big Butts."
And I ain't going
He is the most the word I guess was he get more publishing than some of the new artists off that song because that song is trending extremely well overseas, right? Extremely well overseas. So everybody, all the white people love I like big butts because some of them have little butts. So they all say I like big butts. It's just the thought of big butts, makes them love the music. And he's making millions and millions of dollars. And you got people that got relatively new songs that's not getting near the publishing that Sir Mix-a-Lot getting. Because that's how important publishing is. So that's why you don't sell your publishing. That's why, you get you a publishing company. You register your music. You make sure you register overseas because a lot of people don't know.
Sound exchange, right?
Well, yeah, you can sound exchange, ASCAP, all of them. But you also got to go with these what they call them performance rights organization. So another company you have to get with is your international public because why record labels want to buy everybody publishing? You know what they do? They get a guy like yourself, Sho-Time, and they pay for you to go overseas, and you go overseas and you license the music overseas to these DJs and to these record poles and to these these radio stations. And what happens is you're making a lot of money overseas. They have to pay publishing for that, right? And a lot of artists don't know. Only thing artists know is concerts. It's 6 slices of publishing. Concerts, different things, jukeboxes and stuff like that, right? They know about that, but they don't know about overseas publishing. And that's what a lot of artists get juked at because they don't understand that aspect of it.
So that kind of makes a lot of sense when it's like it'd be a lesser talented artist. You just be like, how did you get here? But
Tech Nine.
But listen.
Rich.
But everything be lined up. Like the business is done right. The publisher's in place. IRC codes is already in order. They own all their codes and everything. And then the average street rapper, they get a chain, a car, and still staying in somebody's basement or rundown building.
Yeah, well, that's why it's so important for everybody to join the Hip-Hop Fraternity because we have online classes that's free at the Hip-Hop Fraternity. We meet every Monday, or depending on the chapter, what city they meet on their respective days, and you can learn about this basic stuff any day.
So James, you never told me about that, about the meetings. So you've been meeting?
Well, yesterday was one of the meetings.
Here we go.
So just some places do it on Mondays.
I like how you put me right in my place real quick.
But we're going to be increasing it to bi-weekly and then weekly eventually. We just want to find different locations that are that'll be more productive for us to be able to generate some money and bring more into the chapter and grow the chapter and definitely increase membership, which is very imperative.
I think that after consistently throwing these events and you bring the step and repeat to November 30th.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna speak to everyone about the Hip-Hop Fraternity, and we was talking about or before the battles come on, like the companies that are attached to it, the logos, the people who are involved, website, the links are in the bios, everything like that. Just be real brand about it. Excuse me. I think people will jump on because a lot of people want to know what's going on, because it's crazy because a lot of people are not telling them. A lot of my friends that I thought was my friends never wanted to help me until I started figuring it out. And when I started figuring it out and I started moving, then everybody was helpful. Everybody was helpful.
With everything,
man. Then it made me uncomfortable after a while. I'm like, wow.
No, but that's how it goes, Sho-Time. People start at your feet, end up at your throat. And you gotta realize, man, every time somebody leave you, man, that just make room for somebody to come take their place. So what we learned in the Hip-Hop Fraternity, James and I have been through a lot with these people, man. But what we learned is that persistence wear down resistance. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to keep doing it, man. You got to wake up every day and be persistent. You got to be motivated. You can't let your quitability outweigh your stickability. You know what I mean? So you got to stick to it. You got to have that stick to itness.
And I be needing these conversations because it's therapeutic to me, because I like to say that I'm an intellectual. I think on a certain level, I'm smart enough to know that it's a lot I still need to learn, and I'm willing to learn. I'm open to learning. I feel like I adapt well, and it's like sometimes when you deal with the masses and you see the behaviors and you see these things that are done and these unethical things and these weird behaviors, and then I say, well, I just sat down with Pimping Ken and CB, and that outweighs a lot. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about it. It's like, I'm having a conversation on a certain space, and we're working in a certain common goal, going in a certain space. It kind of makes me feel a lot better.
Let me give you an easy one. Your frequency is what you frequently see. Your frequency is what you frequently see. So if you're around people that got good energy, and you're around people that have good energy, then it's an old saying: if you're around 10 millionaires, you're gonna be the 11th. Then another thing that my man Goldie like to say: you show me what you caught, and I show you where you've been fishing at, and I also show you what bait you use. So generally in the Hip-Hop Fraternity, we say we only fish for whales. So to get a whale, you got to be in the ocean that's at least 1,000 foot of water. It's got to be 1,000 feet below. You need a boat and you need a net. But if you want to catch a catfish, you can just go to any pond, where it's a catfish pond. You can throw a bait out there. You can catch catfish, whitey, perch, tilapia, all that. But if you want to catch a whale, you only gonna catch a whale in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? That's vast. That's big. So that's how we said the Hip-Hop Fraternity, we only fish for whales. So you show me what you caught, I can show you where you fishing at. So we only hang around politicians. That's why you see yourself and Congress, Councilman Taylor at our event. You seen the National Secretary for Kamala Harris at our event. We only fish for whales. You know what I'm saying? So you show me what you caught, I can show you we fishing. You see what we caught, we brought. You see who we brought. That's what we caught. So you know where we've been fishing at. We've been fishing in the political arena. We've been fishing in the business arena. Like I said, your frequency is what you frequently see.
And it's crazy that you say that, because sometimes even I may get a phone call from him, or it'd be a casual conversation. He'd be like, "Well, why did you go there?" Like he's telling me without telling me, like, "Well, you didn't need to be there," Yeah. And then I think about it. It's like, you know what? I really didn't need to be there. That's just
part of your strategy. Because I go to the hood, right? But I'm fishing in the ocean, right? So when I go to the hood, that's to solidify the foundation that we built. The foundation is the plumbing, electricity, and the water. You know what I'm saying? So we got all that, you know, taken care of. Now we building up stories. So we go dealing with the politicians and the business people, those the 10-story building. But the foundation is, you know, on the block. So we got to go on the block and, you know, deal with the foundation every day to make sure all the screws is tight, you know, make sure the bolts ain't loose, you know, because, you know, we need that too, you know. That's what a lot of politicians is envy of James is because he have access to hip-hop. Him being the CEO of Hip-Hop Fraternity, knowing that this is a vast organization with a lot of rappers and a lot of people in the hip-hop community, they're like, man, that's what we want. So they give him a strong foundation, and it gives him a rarity. You know, anything that's rare is valuable. So that makes him extremely valuable because everybody in New York can say, yeah, I got this popping, I got that popping. But Jay said, yeah, but one caveat. I'm popping in New York, I'm popping in Atlanta, I'm popping in Chicago, I'm popping everywhere. And that gives him a distinctive advantage over his competitive.
It's like he was meant for this role because it's like, it could be a crazy hip hop event going on. I mean, it'd be going on, and he'll walk up in here with a suit like that, and it's like, and just comfortable in that space, and you know, people
that's us, brother. That's what we do. You know, James is always, you know. I mean, I remember we was dealing with this dude named Eric Mims, and dude, he had $1 billion play. And me and James was on the phone with these people all day, and they was talking about funding, and we was working with China and all that stuff. And you know, he transformed. You know, he's speaking that language. And I said, man, how you learn all that? You know what I'm saying? Where you learn them big old words from? You know, so you know, he's a chameleonaire. He can be anywhere. You know, and I love that about him. That's why when you know, God put on my heart to, you know, appoint him as the CEO. You know, I knew that I looked at all those factors, you know, those variables, and I said, man, this brother, he the one, you know. And you absolutely right. He's the man for the job. And I'm proud to be, you know, one of his soldiers and one of his lieutenants and, you know, work in whatever capacity he need me to work in because, you know, man, I'm just here to help. You know, I'm here to help and see this brother flourish. And, you know, I always said, man, you the new Malcolm X. You know? You the new Malcolm X.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, I'm honored, you know, just to be here and be a part of, you know, his dream and his brainchild. You know, but you know, throughout the years, I've had great opportunities to be part of great situations, and you know, when the Hip-Hop Fraternity presented itself, especially the opportunity for me, it was a no-brainer. Like I said, man, this is perfect for me. You know. And, you know, like I told Ken before, I had an offer for another situation that was paying a lot of money, but the long run would not have been as advantageous as this position and situation right here. You know, and because I'm a visionary, I was able to see that. Because that opportunity right now is not even looking as good as it did when it was on the table for me. You know, see what I'm saying? So I'm glad that I made the right decision by, you know, investing myself and time and interest in the Hip-Hop Fraternity. So, you know, everything's, man, working great. You know, like you said, everybody that you start off with is not going to always be there. You know, we went through a couple of people who we started seeing their true colors, and it was really...
A couple.
A lot. Yeah, I mean, but the beauty of that, man, is I always tell James is everyone that came to the Hip-Hop Fraternity for the Sho-Time, believe it or not, they did a great contribution. The only sad thing is they left the contribution on the floor. So if you spent, I mean, you get what I'm saying, right? You shy know what I'm talking about. You did all this work. You came here, you did all these flyers and called all these people and just left. And we say thank you, because you know what I'm saying. I mean, that was a blessing that you gave us all that work and all that time, and you decided to say goodbye. And guess what? The word "good" is in goodbye, so it was a good goodbye, you know. And so you know, we ain't tripping, you know, because you know we had one young lady. I won't say her name. She was very instrumental in the beginning stages of the organization. She helped so much. She did so much for the movement, right? And the sister abruptly, you know, just decided to, you know, abort her position, right? And we was like, shocked. The whole organization was like, what? She was fit to be in James' position. She was lined up to be the CEO, and the sister just abruptly left. And every time I look around, I look at certain aspects of the company. I said, she did this, she did that, she did this, she did that. I can see her work throughout the inception and even now throughout the organization. So I said that to say to anybody out there that's putting in a lot of work, sometimes, you have to you have to finish. A winner never quit and a quitter never win. And so what happens, Brother Sho-Time, is people, they open a barbershop, then 6 months they close, and the next 6 months they open a restaurant. And then they spend 6 months there, but if they just spent a year at the barbershop, they would have got to their end goal. They would have been a success. But so people, they quit too soon. They start out fast and end up last. Start out fast and end up last. And so, to that, I say, man, if you are a member of the Hip-Hop Fraternity and you have been making contributions, do not leave your contributions on the floor.
That's wild. I ain't never think about it like that.
Yeah. They helped us, yeah. Think about how many people that didn't help the Hip-Hop Fraternity made it easier for James. You know what I'm saying? Made it easier for me. And people say, well, man, you don't trip when they leave. No, man, I be like, that's like somebody coming to and giving you $100,000 like, bye. Okay, cool. All right, I take the 100.
And then it's crazy because like you said, in the long run, what you see and what is gonna happen is sometimes they let people trick you out of good situations. You in a good relationship, everybody see you doing good. Here they go. They see you in a good business situation. There you go. Somebody see you. They want to play Tickle Me Elmo. And next thing you know, you get emotionally riled up. And the next thing you know, the person who had the deal, the beautiful woman or whatever, now you sitting behind bars now because they tricked you out the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, take James, for example, right? James been on the Breakfast Club, Nick Cannon Show,
yes,
19 Keys, and Matt Hoffa in the last 6 months.
Yes, sir.
There were people before him that knew. I told them that we were going to be on all these shows. They moved on. Now they got to watch him in their capacity. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes, man, if you see a visionary, man, you got to believe in that person, man. You can't just say, man, this man that got all the way to this point and he don't know what he's talking about.
But they still do. That's the crazy thing. You could do all this stuff and you could clearly see it, and it's like you sitting here,
and they suffering.
And listen to somebody else, and then it's like, you really gonna do this, and then later on you're gonna be suffering. But sometimes I'll be like, damn, I don't want you to go through that. I care about you, but I know what's gonna happen. But you know what? If you allow it to happen, you deserve it.
I knew their motives. You know what their motives was?
What?
I want to be on the Breakfast Club. They wanted to be famous.
That's so small. That's so small to be thinking about. Like,
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that was their reason.
Yeah.
And that's what they wanted to do, but it wasn't happening fast enough for them Sho-Time. So, but it happened eventually. So if they would have been in James' position, if they were stuck. That's all I'm saying.
You know how many reoccurring times you could be coming to this show? Like that because you're going to be so much bigger in the direction you're going. You know, he told me a few times, "Oh, we gonna do certain things," and what I said, I'm like, "Word, I already know. I see what's gonna happen." And when it happened, I wasn't surprised because I knew it was gonna happen anyway. Because
we not saying that was a big thing. What I'm saying,
it is a big thing for a lot of people, but you know, some people will really, literally do weird things just for that. Like really, like your whole goal is to be seen with this person and take a picture with this person. You're not worried about the work you put in, the impact. You're not making it about yourself. You're making it. It's a groupie.
No, I was talking about career from a career standpoint.
Yeah,
they wanted to be career-wise. They wanted to be where James were.
I know.
And so what I'm saying is that because they didn't stay, they blew their opportunities. Exactly. That's all I'm saying.
And he sat right there and said, "Thank you, sir. Thank you." And probably next year he'll be back on the show again. Or
and don't leave your contributions on the floor because you never know See, man have time. Sho-Time started his show saying that you can give me all the money in the world, and you could take all my money in the world, but you take my time, I can't get my time back.
There you go.
So it's okay, take my money, but don't take my time. And I think that that's one of the most important things in this conversation is that, you know, people, they gave their time. They can't never get that time back.
That's wild. Over here, you want an opportunity to be to be on the Breakfast Club, right? To be in his shoes, right? But you're not worrying about consistently contributing and being loyal. There was no loyalty.
He never wanted to be on the Breakfast Club. He never wanted to be on anything. I was telling him that we was going to do these things, right? He was just humble, you know, and if you ain't humble, you'll crumble. So it actually happened for him organically, you know, and you see how well he did when he was on there. So
yeah, it's good because he knows his position. He knows chain of command.
Yeah.
And then you gave him the alley-oop because he was deserving. And then it's like, and then it made sense. Everything I seen the interview, everything made sense. It wasn't like, oh, this is my man, I'm putting him on. And it's like, okay, it was actually some structure there. He made sense everything he was saying. It wasn't no negative behavior. It was literally what it called for, and it was organic, and it was a great moment. You know what I'm saying, for the Hip-Hop Fraternity. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love what James did on the Breakfast Club. I mean, I love what he did. I love when he speak. You know, he's a very articulate
that's
orator.
definitely Tate right there.
Yeah. But see, what's going to happen for all of us, James is going to take us to the next level because, see, every organization need a face. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, when my name come up, you know, certain things going to come up with it. You know what I mean? Everybody think, you know, like the East Side. I've never been an East Side gangster, but all my guys are East Side gangsters. My best friend is an East Side gangster. So everybody think, you know, that I can snap my finger and everything gonna happen because I'm allegedly an East Side gangster. But them brothers are verified. I never joined an organization. I never rolled. I never got a 6-point star, nothing. But, you know, those are my guys, you know, and I love them and I represent them, you know. I represent the East Side, not the gangster side of it, you know what I'm saying? But everybody think man, don't mess with Kenny, you know, don't mess with Pimping Ken because he got them dudes on the East Side. And that's not even true. I mean, no, but I'm saying, no, listen though, it's funny. One time, this is a real story. I don't know if I should say this. I'm gonna say it right. So one time, I'm in an apartment building on 24th and Kilbourne. So a guy that I was cool with, me and him was jokingly, you know, and he kind of got greasy with me. So I called one of the guys that's the leader of the East Side Gangsters, right? He's dead, may rest in peace, my man C Money, Chris Davis. So Chris came with about 100 dudes. They all had guns, hanging out, you know, out the car, right? And, you know, I'm on federal parole at the time. I'm like, man, no, man, y'all go home, man. I said, no, Chris, man, I ain't mean it like that. I just said, I don't like dude. And so, you know, but they love me. My little homies love me. And I think that, you know, that was one of the catalysts or the catapult by the thing that I was connected. But we were kids. We grew up together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they decided to go that route. But, you know, that was one of the scary moments. And, you know, and the dude that it happened to, I was just with him like 2 weeks ago. He my main man, you know what I'm saying? And he know I didn't mean no harm, man. I didn't know them dudes was, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know.
That's how you know when the power is getting there.
Showtime. This is before I was anybody. I didn't even know them dudes was like that.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know they was on that. You know what I'm saying? Me, but, you know, because we family and we grew up together, when they go to prison, you know, and they, hey, man, Ken, my guy. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody got this false notion that I'm a part of this and that I'm running this, me and my brother. And it ain't even nothing like that. That's crazy.
You know the crazy thing? I said, I'm affiliated with the Hip-Hop Fraternity. They was like, yeah, all right.
No, the Hip Hop Fraternity is positive.
No. I said that I was saying that I was affiliated with Hip Hop Fraternity. You know, working with James, and then I didn't really know you, but I got to know of you through James. And know the work and do my research and see what the movement was. You know, I ain't going to just get on a bandwagon just because James said, even though I trust his judgment, but of course I'm going to look and do my research and fill you out too and everything like that. So I brought it up. He's like, yeah, right. Okay. I said, you know, I'm going to interview him. I'm going to interview him at some point. I was like, I'm going to interview him at some point. They was like, yeah, all right. It's probably going to take this shit to come out. Have this conversation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To for them to believe it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah. So I basically I'll say something to somebody. Be like, yeah, all right, yeah, right. Ain't no damn CB about to show up to the show. I said everybody shows up for me. You know what I'm saying? I be doing my thing, and it's crazy because I be doing amazing things. I don't even know how I be doing it, but I get it done. If I say I'm gonna do something, I get it done. Right. But like at the end of the day, sometimes they be like,
"You're supposed to be here last time, didn't we?"
Yeah, you was.
I was mad.
You was, but
no. You know what happened?
You have real life going on though.
The G-Dep interview went over to longer than we were supposed to.
Oh yeah.
Then they had a shootout. Well, we had to have a shootout when we going up there.
Yeah, he was in communication. Yeah. See, I already you know, like I said, you know, I'm working with him regardless. You know what I'm saying? And we still working on, you know, making the thing mesh together and spread the word and showing the unity. I know eventually it was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it happened naturally. I got a phone call. You know what? We got this event and he's available for tomorrow. I'm like, well, yeah, let's do it. I called Hector up. Hector do great work. You know.
Shout out to Hector.
Yeah, big shout out to Hector, man.
Hector make things. He built this with his hands.
Yeah, this is nice.
Bronx Hill Studios, and he's still building it right now. But you know, at the end of the day, by the time the next time you come back here, we're gonna have a nice setup right here. Different,
you got a whole hip hop setup with the graffiti all over the place.
It's gonna be crazy. Okay. And he built this with his hands. I started telling people he's my cousin.
Coming back. Yeah, we coming back, man. You know, I love New York, man, and you know, I like what y'all doing, man. That little meeting y'all had that was epic, man. I mean, you know, when you have a dream, man, and you think about something, 5 years later you come to New York and you see the manifestation of it, man, it's like, you know, you don't know if you want to smile or you want to cry. You're like, man, this is crazy.
I know, I understand.
It's crazy. Yes, this is crazy. I said, man, you know, these people giving me awards and stuff, and I see the banner and stuff like that, man, and all them people, man. I was like, man, this is amazing, man. So I think the Hip-Hop Fraternity have a great future ahead of it.
Yeah, that's a dope idea. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, you know how Facebook was geared for college students and family members and stuff? The Hip-Hop Fraternity gives me that nostalgia of if you never been to college before and you never was a part of a college and knew what a brotherhood was or a family was or and educating and just having that. This is a chance.
They mad, ain't they?
Right?
They mad we came out with that, boy. Them people, man, like what you said, we not Greek letters or something.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, you know, this is not, you know, a Greek, you know, fraternity lineage. It's the word fraternity because, you know, what happens, a lot of female, oh, well, why is it all about fraternity? You know, I said, hold on. You know, it's also facilitates a sorority, you know, fraternity as well because we not only that, we have a lot of black women in leadership positions. Our national president, Mallory, she's a black woman from Atlanta, and she's doing a great job.
Our CFO is a woman. Our previous COO was a woman.
Yep.
Our national director of Federal Affairs, our ambassador, Miss
Kendria.
Yeah, she does amazing work. I ain't gonna lie. I seen her work. I was there on sets with her, and I'm like, yo, because at first when I first met her, I'm like, okay, all right, cool. But then when you actually see the work she put in, I'm like, oh, you see how like my whole demeanor changed. Like,
yeah.
Like that's a good look. That you running around with the Avengers. That team is crazy.
Hey man, hey look, this dude like a pit bull. I'm just gonna let him go, and y'all watch and see what happens.
Did you see him?
Watch and see what happens.
Did you see him when he called me? He said, "Showtime, it's raining out here." I was like, "Gotta hurry up. We gotta hurry up."
Yeah,
I was like, "Yo,
James, man, he finna be on a whole nother level, man.
This is crazy."
I tell you what, I remember I said this on your show. You're gonna see him on CNN, NBC. All of the major networks, everybody gonna be calling him. They might even replace him with Jay-Z at the football NFL. Okay. You know, I could see, a surpassing United Masters. All that stuff is finna be obsolete because we are the real hip-hop fraternity. We the real organization of hip-hop.
And I could see y'all calling me up saying, "Showtime, listen." And I'm like, "Yes, sir."
No, you gonna be right there with James in leadership position. I'm pretty sure James got a position of leadership for you.
I really do. Not to toot my own horn. I was born to be a head, not to tail.
Yeah.
Like I am a leader, and you know how I know I'm a leader because I know when to listen to leaders. You know what I'm saying?
A good follower is a good leader.
Yeah.
And think about this, Showtime, in respects to the hip-hop fraternity. There's no big ass or little U's. Everybody got bosses in the hip-hop fraternity. That's why I say your skill set is your asset. Everybody has a different skill set. Everybody has a different value to the company. The merits are different. But at the end of the day, I don't tell him what to do. I don't tell no. Every chapter has that. Like you say, man, I want to run a chapter in the Bronx. He would be the CEO. He would be comparable to James. Only thing, he'd be a national. You'd be a CEO of the Bronx or Harlem or Queens, wherever you want, whatever.
Yeah, I like Harlem, but y'all got that Harlem locked down already.
Yeah, but we can have 2 chapters in Harlem.
Yeah, this
you never told me that.
Well, no. I mean, this.
I knew it, James. I knew it.
Like, there's so much we could do. That's a small.
Yo, you used to be ass smooth,
that's
yo.
a small potatoes,
yo, you got the
man.
right one. Because you could be upset. There could be a whole crisis going on. He'd be like, "Nah, but listen, we got 3 of them right here. We'll just get on the phone. We got this."
No, look.
Everybody's
Last night,
friendly.
it was a girl that didn't get to perform, right? And she's over there going crazy. And then during the midst of her yelling at somebody, she's like, "Yeah, I paid for that." I said, "Whoa. Who did you pay?" And she brought me to the guy that she paid money to. I said, "You took money from her for this?" And he's trying to explain. I said, "Well," I said, "All right, we'll deal with you later." Then I told the girl, I said, "Listen, we don't do that. I didn't know anything about this. You should have came to me about this whole situation." She's like, "Oh, I didn't know you." I was like, "Well, listen, now we don't do all that. This is all this whole production, the events, everything is coordinated a certain kind of way. Everybody's treated fairly. Nobody's taking advantage of anybody, and nothing like that." And I was able to resolve this issue with this young lady instead of her going around telling somebody, "Oh, they took my money and didn't let me perform." We had a great understanding at the end. Now she's really excited about becoming a member and learning more about what she's like. "Oh I loved everything that you guys were talking about doing, but I didn't know about this." I said, "No, don't worry."
I didn't get the money from her. I mean, what was the play?
I had, he was trying to explain it. Because like I never met the guy either until last night.
Man, see that is the problem with hip hop right now, and that's the reason why I started the Hip-Hop Fraternity, because a lot of these people, man, they be running game and talking about they can give somebody a record deal and they can do this for artists. But then the question that I have for all you scammers out there, name one artist that you put on. Name them. What is his or her name, and what record did you put out? What single do they have? And most of them can't name it. But these young artists is so eager and so desperate. And I use my son as the barometer all the time. I said my son was calling me when I sent him to college down there in Atlanta. And I kept sending him money. And he was like, "Man, I got a showcase there." And he was feeling really good about himself, and he would send me videos of him performing and stuff like that. They was charging him $100, $200. I said, "You know what? I'm going down to Atlanta." I closed my whole business down. I went down to Atlanta, man. I just started dishing out money, giving free food, free performance, and free everything. And everybody was like, "Man, what is Ken doing?" They said, "What is your game?" I said, "My game is no game." You know what I'm saying? You can't peep no game, because real game ain't transparent. What y'all gonna peep? So I disrupt the entire music industry down there in Atlanta, and now everybody's talking about some free showcase, free this, free that, free this, because somebody had to set the standard barrier, and that's what Hip-Hop Fraternity we did. We said, man, y'all cannot take money from people that work at McDonald's and Wendy's when these people only making X amount of dollars.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got to pay their bills, and they very talented.
If you can,
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of times people do things like they overcharge certain things, and they not lenient in certain things. Like, to be honest, there's times where like I'm in charge for a slot, right? But the thing is, I only charge for something that I know I have to pay for.
Yeah.
So like I'll do, and it's crazy because I'll do press releases. I'll do things for them that nobody tell them that they need.
No, don't get me wrong, Sho. I'm saying charge. But see, the Hip-Hop Fraternity, when you look at Hip-Hop Fraternity, look at it in the capacity or in the respects that you would look at IG. You said Facebook. We the Facebook, you know what I'm saying? Facebook don't charge you for a profile. IG don't charge you for a profile. So, but what we expect to get our money from is advertisers and the sale of our jackets. So we sell our jackets for $300. We just sold thousands of jackets. We done made over $500,000 off the jackets. We sell T-shirts.
What I'm saying too is that the things that we do for them is gonna help. It's not gonna hinder. You know what I'm saying? So if you call yourself a business and you're gonna take some dollars, right? Make it make sense. Yeah. Make it make sense. It's like, and I love how you know where you're gonna get the dollars from. Okay, yeah, I put out here, but this is where we're gonna recoup this so that we can give back.
And so do Google. Have you ever paid for Gmail?
Only at first, no. But it depends when it comes to more space. But
primarily you don't pay for email. So we use the same standard barrier that the big boys use. You know what I'm saying? We figure what we do, we exchange services for data. So if you give us your data, your email, you join our social media, which is hhfmedia.com, we'll give you all these free services. And then we're going to charge the advertisers as an ed-based company, and we're going to charge sponsors and so on and so forth to play the game. But we know that it's not enough money in the artists at $220 a pop. So we bring them in, and they create the database. They create the numerical system for us. Now we can use those numbers from a business standpoint, say, hey, look here, we have this leverage. So when James is talking to people, when he say he got 11,000 members, he say he got 37 chapters, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the reason why is because these people are coming in droves because they don't have to pay.
Damn,
see what I'm saying?
That's kind of crazy. That's like a network on top of a network. That's a damn near, that's crazy.
But think about it in this, don't just look at the network. Think about, as you said, the brotherhood. So HHF clothing, right? I mean, everybody that wear HHF clothing, you know, HHF clothing, then every time you see that HHF, I'm advertising.
Yep.
So every time we get a member of the music industry that becomes signed to us, he's wearing HHF. He said HHF in his song. Every time you go to HHF magazine, you see HHF. All roads lead to HHF, but all roads lead to the brotherhood and sisterhood. So you could say, I'm a Mason or I'm a Q dog, and you could benefit from being a Q dog. Steve Harvey's a Q dog. Benjamin Crunk is a Q dog. Because they're Q dogs, then the brothers in the Q dog family, they able to use that leverage and say, hey, look, these people are part of our ecosystem, and yada, yada, yada. So you can be a part of the Hip-Hop Fraternity, and you might meet a lawyer in Atlanta that's Hip-Hop Fraternity.
Yep.
And he's going to say, yeah, okay, Sho-Time, whatever you need, bro, you family. You know what I'm saying? You down with James? Yeah, you family. And that's the same system that the Jews got. That's the same system that the Elks got, the Masons, the Eastern Stars. And why can't we have it? And if it's a system that works for them, then it has to work for us. But we just have to understand that we tried everything but unity. We kill each other. We pimp on each other. We sell dope to each other. Let's try unify with one another and see how that works for each other. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing that, you know, the Hip-Hop Fraternity entails. It's about bringing everybody together, and it's about organizing and having a relationship state to state, you know, city to city, where you could go in these different states, and if you bring your artists, say you know, the artists that you're charging, you say, hey, man, listen, okay, now we finna go down to Atlanta. You go down to Atlanta, they didn't pay you $1,000 a piece. You got a whole chapter where you can take them in and they can perform for free. So now they charge you for the game. Look, man, I'm a Mason. You know, your lawyer's a Mason. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole chapter where you can take them in and they can perform for free. So now they charge you for the game. Look, man, I'm a Mason. You know, your lawyer's a Mason. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole chapter where you can take them in and they can perform for free. So now they charge you for the game. Look, man, I'm a Mason. You know, your lawyer's a Mason. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole chapter where you can take them in and they can perform for free. So now they charge you for the game. Look, man, I'm a Mason. You know, your lawyer's a Mason. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole chapter where you can take them in and they can perform for free. So now they charge you for the game. Look, man, I'm a Mason. You know, your lawyer's a Mason. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole chapter where you can take them in and they can perform for free. So now they charge you for the game. Look, man, I'm a Mason. You know, your lawyer's a Mason. You know what I'm saying? You got So your lawyer's like, okay, give me $4,500 or $45,000 for this case. Man, you gonna beat it? Yeah, I'm gonna beat it. How you gonna beat it? Because the judge is a Mason and the prosecutor is a Mason. See what I'm saying? You know, we gotta step our game up as black folk, man. African Americans are Akibulans, whatever you call yourself.
El Kebulan.
Kebulan, yeah.
So before we leave, right? Because I know we've been running for a while. Before we leave, I'm gonna start with CB and I'm gonna start with you. I always do this. Any last words? Like any last words of wisdom? And then shout out your IG handles and your whatever you need to let the people know what we doing.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I think that you would be more updated and elevated once you read 48 Laws of the Game.
I'm gonna get that today. You said online.
Yeah, Amazon.
Obviously.
All.
Send me the link. Don't forget it.
I'll send it to you. Yeah.
I'm gonna get that.
And also everybody else too, man. Get up on game. Definitely, that's a great book, man. And it's like it's becoming the blueprint now. You know, for a lot of people. Matter of fact, there was a brother yesterday I
signed it. Yeah.
Yo, he came out of nowhere with
Jay Crush.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jay Crush.
You know, with the book and I got the video. I'm gonna send you the video of it because it was just how it happened organically. You know.
Yeah, there's a clip where you shouted me out, right? I want that clip too.
Okay,
I'm fatty.
I got you. You know, but you know, in this perspective, definitely want everybody to have a better understanding about Hip-Hop Fraternity. So go to hhfmedia.com, sign up, become a member, and also look at the entire website. We put a lot into the website. And we're updating it constantly. And like I said, once you join and become a member, you have access to our curriculum that we're teaching on there. You know, it's a basic curriculum. We have another one that's more extended that we're going to be that we're pitching to a couple of colleges right now. That's our next step is to get the curriculum into the colleges.
College curriculum. Wow.
Yeah. And then once that happens, then we'll be able to appoint adjunct professors who are HHF members, board members and executives to go into these colleges and teach our curriculum, you know, and that's a paid situation, and also kick back some, you know, a lot of money to the HHF as well. You know,
all the new Emancipation Proclamation.
Yes, yeah. Oh, free another mind. Yeah. Then that's you know when I said that on the Breakfast Club, a lot of people, you know, like they pointed that out, you know, and it's real simple. The freeing of the mind is the new Emancipation Proclamation, because without freeing the mental, you won't even have any physical capacity that could benefit you. It's just not, it's non-functioning at that point. So the mental chains have to be broken in order to move forward, you know, and be progressive on any physical level. And you can find me, James CB Gray, on every platform. Instagram, Facebook. I just started TikTok, so you know.
I seen
TikTok. I gotta get me a. I got one. I got a line to use.
You know what? The thing I like about TikTok, you could post something on Instagram, man, and Instagram is literally fractioning, you know, your likes and capabilities. TikTok, they don't do that. I got 11,000 views on something that the same post on Instagram I got like 200 on. TikTok, I got 11,000 because it was the real views. What Instagram and other platforms are doing now, they won't let you get everything. They'll send you a message saying, "Yo, if you want more likes and stuff, pay this amount of money."
5% of organic engagement,
but
out of 100.
See, this is the reason why they want to get rid of TikTok, because they can't control it.
Is they really going to do that January?
No, they might have a stay of execution because they're realizing that the pharmaceutical companies are one of the big components that's going after TikTok. Because there's a lot of people on TikTok that's giving you herbs that can heal diseases that they say, you know, and they say, oh, you got to have this operation. They say, no. Change your diet. Check out these herbs. Get more of this into your body. There's a lot of help. There's like 5 major TikTokers, they were YouTubers and people on Instagram that were helping people, saving people's lives. They're dead now.
Oh yeah.
There's even some on there right now that you see every day that are dead and you don't even know it. You see what I'm saying? But anybody that's going against the pharmaceutical company too much, saving people's lives, Look at this. Right now, this whole P. Diddy thing is in the media. Nobody knows that they just sentenced Dr. Sebi's grandson to 50 years in prison. You know why? Because we so sidetracked by the. That's why I tell people, whenever you see a big case, look the opposite way, and you're gonna see somebody running out the back door with a bag full of money. Okay, it's always happens like that. But it's sad because Dr. Sebi's grandson was only trying to continue his legacy, and they sent him to prison for 50 years, and you don't even know about that. And that's the cover up. That's why we got to really be more vigilant about what kind of stuff we're paying attention to. Because if you pay too much attention to something that's derogatory or a big distraction, you're going to miss out. The Kanye West situation, the R. Kelly situation, the Bill Cosby, each one of those situations covered something way deeper. You know what I'm saying? When O.J. Simpson a verdict came out, guess what happened the same day? The United States government admitted their involvement in Martin Luther King's death, and nobody heard it because they only heard about the O.J. case. So I'm saying all that to say, be careful what you focus and waste time on, because there's real things, underlying things that's being covered up by the so-called story that you think is more important.
Yeah, that's deep.
That's deep.
I'm sorry.
No, we need to hear that.
But like I said, James C.B. Gray, all platforms. I'm also an African-American historian, so if you go to my page every day, you'll see a Black History fact of the day. And I do that specifically for the kids because they're not getting this Black History information in schools anymore. You know, so I have a 365-day Black History campaign that's been going on for 13 years every day now. You know.
Yeah, I like when you do that, and it's not just the deceased; it's a living people too.
You know. So yeah, you can find me all platforms, James C.B. Gray, and also on Instagram I have a HHF _ CEO page as well.
Yeah, well, man, you can follow me at Real Pimp Ken _ on TikTok. I mean, on I believe TikTok and Snapchat and IG _ if you don't have about 78,000 followers, it's my other page that somebody hacked. It'll be way lesser. So it's just know if it's got over 70,000, that's the real me. You can get my book, The 48 Laws of Game, Pimpology of my book, The Art of Human Chess, A Study Guide to Winning, at audible.com. Type in my name, Pimping Ken, and the books will pop up. If you want to go a little quicker, just go to hhfmedia.com, hit the link books, and you'll see my book and all the other books that we put out through our literary agency, HHF Literary Agency. Go to hhfmag.com, check out our magazine. Go to HHF Radio, check out our radio. Go to hhfmedia.com to check out our social media. You know, we have multiple business. We also have the jackets available, so y'all can go online and check that out as well. The advice that I got to the young people, man, that, hey, man, if you ain't humble, you'll crumble. You know, whatever the mind believe and conceive, it can achieve. A winner never quit and a quitter never win. You know, you got to get rid of the dead weight in your life. You know, the last example I want to lead, and I'm going to lead with the eagle example. The eagle is the most profound of all birds in the world. You know, it's the king of the bird species, unquestionably, undoubtedly. And the eagle, when it flies, it spreads its wings, it goes 9 feet, and it glides, it don't fly. An eagle fly high. If an eagle see a pigeon, it flies away because it knows he's flying too low. If an eagle see a storm, it goes into the storm propels him so high in the air that he feel comfortable, because that's the place where he's most comfortable, in high altitudes. I ain't got nothing against a chicken. I ate one about 20 minutes ago. But, you know, a chicken and eagle would never make love, because the chicken do this, and he can only jump 3 feet. Where when the eagle make love, it make love in the air at high altitudes. Before the eagle make love, the female eagle, she throw the stick, and he got to catch the stick. And she do that about 10 times, and then finally he gets the stick, and he throw it, and she get it. Then that's when they make love. It's a real rigorous process. But the flaw of the eagle, you know, is when the eagle see its prey, it can see 100 miles away. It can see the fox. It can see the goat, it can see the turtle, it can see everything in its peripheral, right? But when it see a weasel, it goes and it beams down on the weasel. It grabs the weasel with its claw, puts the weasel to its chest. It ascends 10,000 feet. Then it descends 10,000 feet to its death because the weasel eats the eagle's heart out. It's a lot of weasel ass niggas out here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of weasel bitches. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all got to get them out your life. You know, get rid of that dead weight because dead weight can hold you down, and you never know it's holding you down until you release it. Once you release it, you like Muhammad Ali, you can float like a butterfly, stay like a bee. So, you know what I mean? That's the main thing I tell you. Get those people out of your life, you know, that don't mean well. You know, they call them friends, but they really frenemies. They enemies posing as friends. They start at your feet and end up at your throat, you know. So that's what I can say, man. You know, it's okay to let people go because when God takes somebody out your life, he just makes it room for other people to come in your life. And remember, man, people leave in the head first. People leave in the mind, and then they physically leave you. So, you know, if somebody leave you, don't feel discouraged. Give them a Chinese name. And if it's a woman, give her a Chinese name too. Su Wong, One Gong, you know. And that's the best advice I can give to you. And, you know, hey, man, invest your money. Invest, save, and trade. And you'll always be cool, man. You know what I'm saying? We go from the ghetto streets to the executive streets, from the ghetto blocks to the Wall Street stocks, from a sewer to an entrepreneur. You know, and you'll be all right with me. And like I said, man, you know, go get my books. It'll help you out a lot. Peace. And Hip-Hop Fraternity for Life, HHF.
Damn, that's Sho-Time TV. We got Pimping Ken. We got CB, James CB Gray. Man, I appreciate y'all, man. It's another banger, man.
All right, HHF.
HHF.